We're learning about the documents this evening and other items the FBI seized from former President Trump's Mar-a-Lago estate. Hello again and good evening. 20 boxes were hauled out of that home.
And some of those documents were labeled top secret. 7's Nicole Ensalada is live near Mar-a-Lago in Palm Beach with our top story. Nicole.
Well, Lynn, and the search warrant also talks about the 3 laws that investigators are trying to determine if they were broken or not. All of them have to do with the handling of either classified documentation or even just federal records in general. And one of the laws is even part of the Espionage Act. 5 days after federal agents executed a search warrant at Mar-a-Lago, we are seeing a list of items federal agents took from the former president's home. 11 sets of classified documents, including some marked top secret. The agents also took 20 boxes, binders of photos, a handwritten note, and an executive grant of clemency for Trump ally Roger Stone, along with information about the president of France. Government documents not meant for the public are categorized from confidential to top secret, with various levels of potential damage to national security if leaked. Apparently, documents were found at the property in each of those categories. The disclosure comes a day after the Attorney General argued for the information's release.
Copies of both the warrant and the FBI property receipt were provided on the day of the search to the former president's counsel, who was on site during the search. The search warrant was authorized by a federal court upon the required finding of probable cause.
Although the list does not describe the substance of the top secret papers, the Washington Post reports they're related to nuclear weapons systems.
Documents about nuclear programs, and multiple sources said that escalated their desire that they believe those documents were there to get in immediately.
It begs the question, what are you doing with those documents? Because it's not simply just to put them in a picture frame on a wall.
Mr. Trump's attorney dismissing concerns and the search itself.
They don't have any good reason for doing what they did. The pathetic presser that Merrick Garland held for 3 minutes was insufficient. So they had to create fear. You know, if we are on the verge of nuclear war, giving up the nuclear codes, maybe it's acceptable that they violated the president's constitutional rights.
On social media, the former president said he's all for the search warrant and property list becoming public. He wrote, number 1, it was all declassified. Number 2, they didn't need to seize anything. They could have had it any time they wanted without playing politics and breaking into Mar-a-Lago. It was in secured storage with an additional lock put on as per their request. They could have had it any time they wanted, and that includes long ago. All they had to do was ask. Now, presumably, that is what the Justice Department did back in June when it issued a subpoena for some of these records, got some of them back, apparently didn't get them all back, and that is why we had the search warrant that we saw here earlier this week. In terms of them being declassified, there is a broad power that the president has when he is in office to declassify things, but there's a procedure to do that, and then usually they would not be called classified after the fact. That is something that is now going to all have to be determined during the course of this investigation and also likely in court. Reporting live in Palm Beach, Nicole Ensalada, 7 News.